Today I am going to present my presentation Improved Architecture in Bagisto 2.0 in front of you all. So why is this important? Well, I would like to explain the newer version of Bagisto improves on architectural level. We made it better to easy to organize by some making changes. Here is some key points. The first one is naming convention, reusability, separation of concern, uses of new basic features, and the last but not the least, it is security. These changes will make Bagisto 2.0 more easy to understandable and maintainable. Now come to the first point is naming convention. The naming convention is the key to easy to maintain the code and the following consistency throughout the project. It is easy to manage and enhance the project at the code level. Now I am going to show you some comparison between older version and newer version of Bagisto to improvement on architecture level. The first one is folder naming structure. Here you can see in the previous version of Bagisto, there are various types of files or folders which is separated into multiple packages like blade files, controller files, route files, or etc. We assume this issue and organize in the new way in the new version of Bagisto. Here you can see here are some example on the controller. In the new version of Bagisto, we organize all the controller files inside the admin package because it is used for admin package only. So we organize in the new version of Bagisto as a mandatory format. Like here you can see inside the controller folder, you have various types of folders like catalog, CMS, customers, marketing, sales, and setting users. Inside these folders contains related to that controls only. So it is following also our menu tree structure. Now moving to the next slide. Here is the data grid naming structure. As we know all, the blade file structure, data grid should also follow the same structure. Here you can see when we look in our previous version of Bagisto, all the data grid files available into single data grid folder, which is quite inappropriate or not looking good. So we rearrange all the data grid files in the new version of Bagisto according to our menu tree format. Like this, here is as same. Here we also create various types of folders following the menu tree format. Inside these folders contains related to that only data grid files only. Now moving to the next slide. This is the naming, the default images naming structure. When we look around our previous version of Bagisto, all the default images names have some in camel case, some in snake case, also not following any meaningful names. So we reduce this issue, and in the newer version of Bagisto, all the default images name are in lowercase, also following the meaningful names, which is quite good. Or in the previous version, the images have .svg extension, .png extension, various types of images, which is reduced in new version, and we follow the consistency in the new version of Bagisto. All the images have only .svg extension, which is quite good for our e-commerce platform. Now move to the next slide. Route naming structure. In the previous version, here you can see I have added some screenshot. Bagisto 1.5.1. You can see the all routes contains a role controller with prefix roles in each routes. Also, the route don't have any meaningful name as our new menu tree format. So now I am going to show you new format. Here is the new format of our new Bagisto version 2.0. Here you can see we have organized the route naming structure based on Laravel 10 new feature. Here you can see we group all the routes with the role controller, also with prefix. We focused here also on the route naming structure as following our new menu tree format. The next one is reusability. In Bagisto 2.0, we have created various types of reusable component. Whenever we develop e-commerce website, we use multiple types of forms with various fields. Every time we return same code again and again. So reduce this issue, we create various types of blade-based component in our new version of Bagisto. I am going to some example. Here is the list of create this component. Here you can see we have created accordion, breadcrumbs, data grids, drawer, etc. These reusable component which you can use to develop any things. Now I am going to show you one example on the form component. This is the form component. This is a code snippet. You can just use this snippet and create your input field via this component. You just copy this snippet and paste, and you simply create input type text field. If you want to change the field type, you just change the type text to select, checkbox, radio, etc. what you want. Also, these snippet have basic classes embedded in our component, so you no need to add extra classes. If you want to change some classes, you can just type your attribute class and define your class name. So now moving to the next slide. This is separation of concern. In the previous version of Bagisto, when we look, so all the files are separated of multiple types, which I tell you in previous our talk. So now in the new version, we arrange all the file or folders according to our new mandatory format. I am going to show you some example. Here you can see I have added on request files example. In the previous version, we have we have product package. You can see inventory request file or product form file. Or in the inventory package, you can see inventory source request, etc. like this. So we arrange all the request files in the new version of Bagisto inside the admin package. Same as for controller, same as for view files, also same as for language file. So now moving to the next slide. Uses of new PHP features. In our previous version of Bagisto, we use various types of older PHP version check like null collision, like if else check or ternary operator or is set, etc. So reduce this older version of PHP operator. We introduce some new operators, like the first one is null safe operator, the second one is null collision operator. Coming to the first one is the null safe operator. This one. Here you can see in the older version we use firstly check if user have or not, then assign the username to the data value. Now this is firstly we check is set. If now in the new version of Bagisto we use the null safe operator, which is if your customer have an email, then it return email, otherwise it return null value directly. So no need to check here if condition or etc. Now move to the next point is null collision operator. You can see in previous version we check the firstly is set. If is set have value, then return first value, otherwise it return second value. There are two types of check. First one is set, then ternary. In the new version of Bagisto, we simply you can use null collision operator. It return if your value have if your key have a value, then it return value, otherwise it return null value. So here you can easily reduce the PHP checks like is set or ternary operator to null collision operator. Now move to the next slide. Security. In the previous version of Bagisto, we found some suspicious activity on this point. The first one is handle form request. Second one is move installer to package, and the third one is image vulnerability issue. Come to the first point, handle form request. Here you can see in the older version, any user just submit the form, and the controller just all your form data pass to the repo, and your repo just execute the query to the DB. So any user can just some new suspicious activity, like you can add some new fields like status, and you pass the one to the repo. Here is not restriction on the any restriction on the controller. So your query just executed and your entry is successfully entered in the database. For reducing this issue, we have added some restriction on the controller. If any user can do suspicious activity from the form, so controller did not pass any extra fields to the repo for executing the query. So here we reduce this issue. Now move to the next point is Bagisto installer. In the previous version of Bagisto installer is available into root directory of the project, public folder. where some user can do some suspicious activity like downloading env data via uploading some script files or etc. For reduce this issue, we have created a new package for installer. Here we have a protection of the Laravel. Also, we have added one more layer for this our middleware name is installer. So installer package have a 4 layer of security, so no one can do any suspicious activity on this purpose. So next point is image vulnerability issue. In the previous version, we have found some suspicious activity on the review section. Like any user can upload some script files in the review section. After that, you just come on the product page and click on your image section. Then your script is successfully run. This is such a suspicious activity. So now we fix in new version, and no user can upload any kind of script file via review section or file part. So that's all from my end. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you.